Another rundown real quick. I'm not sure if everyone was able to hear the team scores a while ago before we cut out, Scott. In first place currently, we have Bentonville High School with 167 points, Little Rock Central with 100 points, Fayetteville High School with 97, Bentonville West High School with 93, Bryant with 50, Cabot High School with 46, Conway with 42, Springdale Harbor with 40, Mount St. Mary's with 34 points, North Little Rock with 31, Rogers High School with 21, Springdale High School with 14, and Rogers Heritage in 13th place currently with 10 points.
Yeah, obviously as the get through the back half of the meet, you have some opportunity for some other teams to make this closer. Bentonville's got a nice lead with the aid of diving. Did very well with 4 athletes scoring there. But Central's got a couple of good events in the 100 fly and 100 free and should make up some ground there. But just previewing the 100 fly, Bentonville's Avery Spencer was 3rd in this event last year. She's seeded 4th, but we've got a couple good swimmers. We have Grace Robbins, who's seeded 3rd from Bentonville, and then a freshman, Addison Wickland from Rogers, is seeded 1st, and Meredith Lipsy, also from Little Rock Central, also a freshman, is seeded 2nd.
And Jenna Gogol from Bentonville West, also another true freshman there at the 7th spot.
Yeah, so young event for these flies, and there's a lot of good up-and-coming things. We'll see that later with the boys. A couple of freshmen favored to win state championships. So these young athletes come ready to swim, and we'll see this in the 100 fly. 100 fly, probably the most, butterfly is one of the more strenuous strokes of swimming, and we'll see these ladies hopefully perform well in this event. Oh no, we have a false start, looks like in lane 4. And that's Kathleen Claycomb from Little Rock Central. I'm not sure they're going to let her swim. So sometimes the athletes are geared and ready to go when they say stand up. If they go, it's not a false start. So it's good that she gets to swim because we want everybody to compete. Go ahead.
Yeah, in the water for heat 1 of 2 for the girls 100-yard butterfly. In lane 1, Jackson from Bentonville West, McDonald from Little Rock Central in lane 2, Abbott Chale from Little Rock Central in lane 3, Josie Harlow in lane 4 from Bentonville West, in lane 5, Burnett from Mount St. Mary's, in lane 6, Savannah Fox from Bentonville, lane 7, Godinez from Cabot, and in lane 8, Melendez from Fort Smith Southside.
Very close race here as we have lane 5 with a slight lead, Rebecca Burnett and Josie Harlow from Bentonville West. In lane 4 as they battle that out. It was Josie, my mistake, it was Josie Harlow that went in, but no false start column there. So these ladies can score in the top 8 with a good swim here. But lane 5, Rebecca Burnett from Mount St. Mary's, a freshman, ahead of the junior Josie Harlow from Bentonville West as they come towards the finish. Looks like a good time there. Lane 5, 103.23. That's freshman Rebecca Burnett from Mount St. Mary's, and second Josie Harlow, the junior from Bentonville West, 103.41. A little bit of drop from their very close race there, but a little bit of drop from their seed times as we head into the final heat. Avery Spencer from Bentonville got 3rd last year, and a couple of freshmen in the middle 2 lanes here from Rogers and from Little Rock Central.
In the water in heat 2 of 2 in the girls 100-yard butterfly. In lane 1, Esteban from Cabot. Lane 2, Anderson from Conway. Lane 3, Robbins from Bentonville. Lane 4, Wickland from Rogers. Lane 5, Lipsy from Little Rock Central. Lane 6, Avery Spencer from Bentonville. Lane 7, Jenna Gogol from Bentonville West. And in lane 8, Patella from Little Rock Central.
Again, 3 freshmen. Lane 2 looks like she's got a slight lead here. So out in 26.8. And lane 2 is Brooke Anderson from Conway, doing pretty well. Lane 4 looks like Addison Wickland from Rogers is coming on. In lane 3, we also have Grace Robbins from Bentonville. She's kind of more of a back half swimmer, but looks like Conway's swimmer in lane 2. Brooke Anderson has got a slight lead. Looks like she's going to try to hold on, but it looks like the middle of the pool, lane 2, that's Brooke Anderson from Conway, with her coaches at the end of the pool. Looks like she's going to touch first. And, lane 4 came back to freshman. And that's Addison Wicklund, 58-17. Fouled in second by Brooke Anderson. Actually, in second, lane 6. Avery Spencer from Bentonville came in, 58-18. And then third, lane 2, Brooke Anderson, who faded a little bit at the end. Fourth, Grace Robbins, 59-79. So some good times there. Very close race with the lead changing hands on the final 25. Just ran out the podium, but Meredith Lipsy from Little Rock Central, she was fifth and in sixth. In lane 7 was Jenna Gogol, freshman from Bentonville West. So freshmen representing themselves very well in the butterfly here, and that's a lot of points. But great swim. Addison Wicklund kept her head. She was behind lane 2 most of the way and came in. And also Avery Spencer had been swimming a lot of butterfly and workout. Came through with a second place for the Bentonville Tigers. So again, another 12-minute break here as we get into that. Neglected to say the state record there, but the state record in the 100 fly is held by Taylor Pike, 53.96, set in 2016. Taylor swims at Texas A&M now, but a very fast time. Those girls swam very well, and those freshmen could challenge as they get to their upperclassmen to Taylor's record there. So very good swim, very impressive all around.
Taylor's a two-time Olympic trials qualifier. So
yep, and she'll have Olympic trials hopefully in Omaha this year. As the Olympics has been delayed, but it's kind of the ultimate goal to make that meet. But very good swimming. Been pretty impressed with the conditions and the athletes and their performance. So in general, some fast swimming. The next event will be the 100 free after the delay, but we've had some very good swims so far and expect that to continue. Bentonville High School, the Tigers are leading the meet right now with Little Rock Central in second. So
Okay, we're back, getting ready for the next event, which is the girls' 100-yard freestyle. In the first heat of 2, we'll have in lane 1, Godinez from Gavitt. Lane 2, Dean from Fayetteville. Lane 3, Euler from Denville West. Lane 4, Thomas from Cabot. Lane 5, Boyd from Springdale. Lane 6, Lehman from Cabot. Lane 7, McDonald from Little Rock Central. And in lane 8, Shipman from Bentonville West. Quick update on the team scores. In first place, this will be the top 5. In first place, we've got Bentonville High School with 241 points. And currently in second place, Little Rock Central with 179 points. And up to third place now, Bentonville West with 131 points. In fourth place, Fayetteville High School with 110. And in fifth place, Cabot High School with 71 points.
Yeah, Bentonville High School has extended their lead and very strong performance in diving, which has kind of extended what we thought to be a really close meet. 100 free is one of Little Rock Central's better events. Lindsay Hammond, who won the 50, is seated first in that and probably expected to win that again. But the state record 100 free is held by Taylor Pike, 51:43. She did that leading off the relay in 2017, her senior year. So we expect some fast times here. Some of the ladies will be swimming their second event, and they're trying to make this so that they get their proper rest between events, and that's why the delays and things. But in general, we've seen some pretty good times. One state record by Leanne Yu in the 200 IM, and several fast times, also very close in the 200 medley relay. So the events we have left is the 100 free, the 500 freestyle, which is 20 lengths, the 200 free relay, the 100 back, the 100 breast, and the 400 free relay. So still a lot to be determined here. Bentonville West is in third place with a slight lead, and Bentonville is currently leading the competition. So Bentonville High School, the Tigers, going for their third in a row for the state championship swimming here, and right now they're leading in doing so. We apologize, we've had several technical difficulties, a lot of people turning in, and also the Wi-Fi here in the facility. So hopefully we continue to broadcast live here, and thanks for listening to us and supporting our sponsors of the meet. You want to go over those sponsors again, Scott?
Absolutely, yeah. Again, our sponsors are Demi Johns, Centennial Bank, and Farm Bureau.
Yeah, and we certainly appreciate them. I know that during the diving competition last night, Jimmy Johns provided all officials and coaches with sandwiches and things, and that's much appreciated. So 100 free, that's 4 lengths of the pool. You'll see this is not an all-out sprint like the 50, but a definitely a sprint, and they'll be going and swimming fast from the start. Again, time finals. Several years ago, I guess in 2012, somebody won this event from the Heat 1, and it does happen, not real often, but with not as many people swimming as many events and swimming as many meets this year, you'll see some of the outside lanes performing better, although in general, the faster swimmers are seated in the center of the pool, and that's where the fastest times are. So the way they do it is that the fastest swimmer will be in lane 4, the second fastest lane 5, the third fastest lane 3, the fourth fastest lane 6, then lane 2, 7, 1, and 8. And that's the center of the pool is usually a little faster. Plus you can see the other fast swimmers, and it pushes you to a better swim to have those people around you. And that's why they do it like that. A little bit less turbulence in the center lanes versus the end lanes, and leads to faster swimming to have that. So Lindsay Hammond, again, won the 50 free, looked very good. She'll probably have a little bit of a different stroke and lengthen that stroke out a little bit more in this 100 free. But
I think I mentioned earlier that Lindsay's committed to go swim at Lindenwood.
Yeah, Lindenwood in St. Charles, very good program there. They've been good in swimming for a number of years. First with Craig Penrose, and now they have an assistant coach at Drury who's the head coach there, and they've had a great tradition. They swim at the St. Peter's Recplex, which isn't on their campus, but just about 10 miles away. And so because of that, they've been a top 5 program Division II for a number of years. So used to be NAIA champions, and I think about 10 years ago they switched over to Division II. So very good program there in Lindenwood. They've recruited well out of Arkansas as well. I've had several swimmers from here go there.
Yeah, Jake Noble, who swims this evening, is also committed to Lindenwood.
Yeah, Bentonville Tiger Jake Noble has committed, but they've also had several other swimmers. I can't think of her first name, but Wu from Conway went there, and Jocelyn Wu swam for Lindenwood, and several others. They've recruited well out of the Arkansas area. So as we get ready for first heat of the 100-yard freestyle. So anyway, 134 lengths of the pool. You'll see kind of a controlled sprint growing out. Abigail Adams from Cabot looks like she got off the blocks well. Ellie Euler is in lane 3, and she's right there as well. So as they come up to the 50, it looks like Abigail Thomas with a slight lead. She's going to be out in lane 6, leads right now, 27.92, and that's Anna Lehman from Cabot with the early lead, and she looks like she's doing pretty well. As we come in with a 25 to go, that's Anna Lehman with a slight lead. Lane 4, Abigail Thomas from Cabot, her teammate, is also doing that. They probably push each other and work out, and probably no difference in the race, but it looks like Anna Lehman's going to have a pretty good time. Is going to win this heat, is the first heat, 58.12. So improving her seat time by a couple seconds, and that time will definitely place, and she'll move up in some of the scoring here. So very good swim. Second in that heat was lane 3, which was Ellie Euler from Bentonville West, in a time of 58.87. Third, lane 2, was Grace Skeen from Fayetteville with a time of 59.40. Fourth in that heat was Abigail Thomas from Cabot with 59.68. We'll get ready for heat 2 of this women's 100 freestyle.
In the water for heat 2 of the women's 100-yard freestyle, we have in lane 1, Robinson from Rogers. Lane 2, Dressel from Fayetteville. In lane 3, June Dressel from Fayetteville. In lane 4, Lindsay Heyman from Little Rock Central. In lane 5, Catherine Thomas from Bentonville. In lane 6, Anna Gunter from Fayetteville. In lane 7, Mia Patella from Little Rock Central. And in lane 8, Amy Bay from Little Rock Central.
Lindsay Hammond, lane 4, is out well. She's wide ahead of the field looking for a double today, out in 25.23. That puts her in contention for that state record of held by Taylor Pike, 51.43. She extends her lead. She looks great. Very good turn, and she heads for home. Got her kick going, and she's ahead of the field. Lane 5, Catherine Thomas from Bentonville looks like she's going to be second, but that's all going to be Lindsay Hammond. And she's got a double in the day, 52.50, just off of the state record. Second, Catherine Thomas, 54.13. Nice drop from the seed time. And third, in lane 3, would be June Dressel, a freshman from Fayetteville. Fourth, lane 6, Anna Gunter from Fayetteville. Fifth, lane 2, was Kenya Dressel from Fayetteville. So Fayetteville scoring a lot of points here. And sixth, rounding off the podium, is Mia Patel from Little Rock Central. So quite a few points for Fayetteville and Little Rock Central in that. And again, congratulations for Lindsay Hammond on her second win of the day for the Little Rock Central Tigers. Very good swim there. So the next event is we go from a fast event at 100 free, but it's a 500 free, a 20 length race, and it takes about a little over 5 minutes for the lead swimmers there. And last year we had a really close race with Ansley Jenkins and Chloe Thompson, stroke for stroke almost the whole way, and both those athletes are back. Chloe, a junior, coming off a 200 free victory, and we expect good things from her in the 500. She's a junior national qualifier and has that meet coming up, but obviously looking for revenge and just getting touched out last year. I'm sure the girls hopefully will help push each other to a good time here.
Yeah, and then you've also got in the mix this year Ashlyn Allen from Fayetteville, the freshman you mentioned earlier.
Yeah, she was fourth last year, and Avery Spencer, who got second in the 100 fly, she was third in this event last year. She's a very good distance swimmer, and again, been working very hard. So I believe she's one of the captains of the ladies team there at Bentonville High School, just a junior, but very good leadership and very good direction.
Right.
With
yeah,
Liz.
I think I misspoke. Ashling is not a freshman. She's a senior. Actually, she's committed to go swim at Drury University.
Okay, Drury in Springfield, just a couple hours from here. So anyway, a lot of commitments there, and we expect a good race in this 500 freestyle. Bentonville Tigers continue to lead, but if we look at the preview for the 500 free, Bentonville should score a lot of points here, and Fayetteville is also in position to score a few points. So Fayetteville may be moving up to third to challenge Bentonville West, but the Tigers...
Some of that kind of, I guess, depends on how Chloe Thompson does as the favorite, being a Bentonville West swimmer. If she can win it, they'll place first in the top.
Yeah, it'd be 20 valuable points for them, and as... we look at the results. I'll just pull that up as we talk here. But in general, they're doing a pretty good job on Meet Mobile of keeping that up to date. But current scores, Little Rock Central did make a little cent, but Bentonville High School leads with 258 points. Little Rock Central, 221. Fayetteville High School, 164. Bentonville West, 143. So Cabot rounds out the top five with 94 points. So these last events will be even more important and go a long way to determining our state champion. All right. So again, 12 minutes before a race, kind of simulating the time rest we'd have with the boys were here, and the boys are swimming at 4 o'clock this afternoon. So Bentonville again going for their third state title in a row. Back, Bentonville has had, before they split, they had a number of titles in a row. So kind of picking that back up, and Bentonville West battling for third place here at this state championship. So again, the facility's done a great job. I don't know if you see that on the camera of shuffling people in and out, letting the parents be able to observe their children. Are we still on? Okay. Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. I couldn't hear myself for a second there. But anyway, yeah, the officials are doing a great job of getting people in and out and keeping the social distancing and that. And it's pretty challenging, as it is everywhere, but we've seen great results from this meet so far, and it's really good that we just get to have the meet.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, under the circumstances that we could be in the position where we couldn't have the meet and couldn't compete and let these kids see the payoff for all their hard work. So it's good that we're able to do this. Yeah,
no, absolutely. And, again, we have some seniors committed to continue their career in college, but we also have some people that may this be their last meet as they finish out their high school career. So in this event, you have Bentonville and Bentonville West are separate schools, but as far as the club team goes, most of those ladies work out together on the Northwest Arkansas Aquatic Sharks team, led by Mark Gold, who also coaches the Bentonville team with Liz Braun. But a lot of these ladies will swim a couple times a day, probably as many as 11 or 12 swim workouts a week and dry land and other things. So there's quite a bit of time commitment from the parents and from the athletes themselves in getting ready for this race and getting ready for this meet. But even though Bentonville and Bentonville West are different high schools, a lot of these girls train together and push each other to better performances. So
Yeah, and you kind of touched on earlier the Arkansas being maybe not a big producer of swim talent for college, but they produce quality talent, I think. And unfortunately, I think from what I understand, a lot of college women's swimming scholarships go unused each year, and then there's a lot of opportunity for a young lady to take advantage of swim opportunities in college if they want to pursue that. It's certainly there at all divisions and classifications in college.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, in Northwest Arkansas, we have the Razorback Aquatic Swim Team led by John Mosley, and we also have in the Bentonville, we have Mark Gold that leads the Northwest Arkansas Aquatics. But Little Rock Central has a great team. Evan Johnston and others lead that big team that has won Club State a few years in a row. And then also Conway has had a pretty good team for years. Last year they won the boys state. They graduated a lot of people and sent some to college, but very good programs all over the state. In Jonesboro last year, Bella Cothran, who's swimming for the Razorbacks, was from that program. So people come from all over the state, and there's a lot of good swimming going all over the state in Arkansas. And in general, we have they just keep getting faster every year or so, it seems. The state record in this 500 free was set by Jenny Holston, who swam her career at Wisconsin. She was from Fayetteville High School, did that her junior year, swam the 100 breast her senior year, but pretty impressive swim at the time that she went in 4:48. But, again, she went on to swim at University of Wisconsin and Madison, and had a great high school career as well. Was an outstanding swimmer, and kind of the 5-minute barrier would be something that Chloe's probably going for here, and maybe her and Ansley Jenkins can push each other to go into that 5 minutes, which again, I'm sure is the goal. Bentonville, their elite swimmers here have done a short rest for this meet, but then have other meets coming up. But obviously, state title is something that they can't take away from you, and really these athletes really push and peak towards that event. As you look in the facility here, they'll probably pan to it later, and they showed it on Senior Day, but you have little banners for the seniors of Bentonville and Bentonville West, as this is their home pool. And it makes for a pretty good environment in this facility. The other thing is the temperature in here without as many fans is a little bit more reasonable. Mm-hmm. From an announcing perspective, it's great, but also from an athlete's perspective, which is the most important thing, the temperature in here is going to be much more reasonable, and probably one of the reasons we're seeing some faster swims.
Well, the air quality is good too, which you don't always find in some of the older pools, but the air quality, generally speaking, and just above the water as well, is good, which is good for the swimmers.
They have an air circulation system here. Again, this facility opened in May of 2015, and relatively new, and has the new technology in there. Not some of the, like we'll see at Jenks High School or Columbia, Missouri, but nonetheless a very good facility, 25 yards square. Most of the time the team practices the width-wise because you can get more lanes in that way. And this facility is used all day. Starts at 5:30 in the morning, and I think until it closes at 7 o'clock. The pools with different master's programs, different high school, different club teams, and
fitness programs,
and
certification programs,
scuba, life-saving, all that sort of stuff. So probably could be bigger, but we're glad to have it here in Bentonville, and glad to be able to have the state championship here. So a lot goes into these types of meets, and thank you to all the volunteers and our sponsors for doing this as we're ready to start the 500 freestyle.
I'll give an update on the swimmers as soon as the heat starts. So in the water for heat 1 of 2 for the girls 500-yard freestyle, we have in lane 1 Madison Hall from Bentonville, and lane 2 Olivia Muir from Little Rock Central, and lane 3 Breedlove from Cabot, lane 4 Ruth Duncan from Fayetteville, lane 5 Ashley Sexton from Fayetteville, lane 6 Kayla Garcia from Cabot, lane 7 Carper from Little Rock Central, and in lane 8, Juliana Fear from Cabot.
Yeah, and just a quick shout out, if we look at lane 5, Ashley Sexton, her father's one of the officials. David's been doing that for a long time. I see him on the sidelines here, but again, these people are volunteers that officiate these meets and different things, and do a great job at making sure everybody performs legally and things. But the 500 free is a longer race, 20 lengths to the pool. You'll see these young ladies have to pace themselves, and you won't see as much of the kicking, but kind of a timing as they look at a stroke and really rely on their technique throughout the 20 lengths to do that. So it's a pretty grueling race, especially I think all these ladies have swum a race already, and so takes a lot of endurance and things. You also notice that teammates are at the end of the pool, if you look at that, and what they're doing is putting down a counting. So they'll help them make sure they keep count on that, and they'll count the odd lengths and tell them how many lengths that is. So they've just completed 6 lengths or 150 yards of a 20-length race. So as we go into this different race, there's a lot of strategies. Some people will try to even split the hundreds. Some people try to go out a little faster. I know that as far as Bentonville's athletes, they'll probably try to even split that, but again, we've got Duncan with the early lead for Fayetteville in lane 4, and she looks very smooth. You look that long stroke, breathing every other stroke, and she tries to do that. Kind of got a 4-beat kick going on there. In lane 3, we have Sarah Breedlove from Cabot, kind of more of a 4-beat kick, but you'll see more of a 2-beat kick, and as they get near the end of the race, they're almost halfway through here, they'll put in the legs a little bit more, and that's as their arms get tired, they get into the different things. And this takes a lot of endurance to do this pretty well. Even though I said the water's 78 degrees, these athletes will get pretty warm with the cap and things as they come into the race. And so have to make sure they're breathing a lot and keeping the timing so that they can finish the race strong. And then as we head to the halfway point in lane 4, we still have Ruth Duncan from Fayetteville. She's been splitting about 33 seconds, so a little bit, about 106 per 100. So she's on pace to improve that seed time she has of 5:43.
So Scott, this is one of those events where you'll have some sign language going on between the coaches over on the side of the deck with their swimmers that are helping out with the cards at the end of each lap to transfer some communication to the swimmer that's actually in the pool, right? Yeah,
and it's different for each coach, but you look at Mark Gold over there on the side, he's got his arm straight up, so that probably means that his athlete, which more than likely is Madison Hall in lane 1, she's right on the pace he wants her to do. Mark really believes in them swimming the second back half, so the back half is as fast as their first half, but you'll see different things. The Cabot coaches also have some signals, and it depends on the coach, and again, if you're breathing on the left side, you're going to look at Mark as you come towards this end of the pool. If you're breathing on the right side, you're going to look at him as you go back. Some people breathe on both sides, but yeah, there'll be a lot of signals for them. And since it's a longer race, they want to know if they're on pace or if they pick it up and that sort of thing. So that's what we're looking at as far as different things and the signals, and everybody will have that. You'll notice that they're always yelling encouragement and things, but looking at whether they're bringing their legs, they'll make a kicking motion with their arms, and that's just telling them it's time to bring in their legs. And you see the Bentonville West coach here, Liz Braun, the Bentonville coach, she's shouting encouragement to Madison Hall and telling her, hey, it's back after race, you need to bring in your legs. But at the continuing to lead in this particular heat is Ruth Duncan from Fayetteville. And she's widening that lead. She's going to improve on her seed time, it looks like, here as we head in there. And the ladies are a little past halfway as far as the result. And if you just notice Ruth Duncan in lane 4, she's just got a nice stroke and looks very smooth in here. she's getting a bell. Every athlete will get a bell with 2 lengths to go. And so she knows she can pick it up, and you notice she's still doing picked it up from a 2-beat kick to 4-beat kick. I see her coach signaling to her. Mark Gold swinging to the Bentonville athletes, and obviously valuable points here. Is still fairly close, but Fayetteville has a lot of good freestylers, and they're going to score some more points here as Ruth Duncan is going to move up. So she comes into the finish with a good time of 4:34.74. That's almost a full 10 seconds off her seed time. Second in this heat looks like lane 5, which is Ashley Sexton, also from Fayetteville. And they probably did that a lot in practice and pushed each other. And lanes 1 and 2 are battling it out here as we get lane 6 in third place, 5:53, and that's Kayla Garcia. Fourth in lane 2 was Olivia Maurer from Little Rock Central, and Bentonville Madison Hall in 5th place, 5:57.89. So broke 6 minutes and under her seed time. So some good results there as we head up to the championship heat. And expect a good race between Chloe Thompson and Ainsley Jenkins from Little Rock Central. It was a good race last year, and I'm sure it's going to be a good one this year.
So in the water for heat 2 of 2 for the girls 500-yard freestyle, we have in lane 1 Molly Sutton from Conway, lane 2 Avery Spencer from Bentonville, lane 3 Taylor Horan from Fayetteville, lane 4 Chloe Thompson from Bentonville West, lane 5 Ashling Allen from Fayetteville, lane 6 Ainsley Jenkins from Little Rock Central, lane 7 Brooke Holly from Bentonville, and in lane 8 Ellie Chris from Bentonville.
Yeah, and as we look at these things, Avery Spencer, she was second in 100 fly, so kind of a tough double. Not that much rest between the 100 fly and 500 free, although that's what my brother swam back in high school back in the day. So kind of a short turnaround, but she's a real good distance swimmer and does that very well. Ashley Allen is taking the lead and from Fayetteville, and she was 4th in this event last year. Like I said, Chloe Thompson was 2nd. She's going right with her, and Ainsley Jenkins, 3rd, is in the early going of this particular race. So just at 100 yards, 16 lengths yet to go. And you'll see that lead change early, like in lane 5, Ashley Allen with a slight lead. Chloe's more of a back half swimmer, and she led most of the race last year, but Ainsley Jenkins beat her right at the end in a very good race. So they have similar strategies and try to lengthen out their strokes here. So just under 130 for that 150. So again, under 5 minutes would be a great time. The state record is held by Jenny Holston, set 10 years ago at 4:48, her junior year from Fayetteville. And very close race. These ladies will hopefully push each other to a faster time. Lane 5 continues to lead, and that's Ashley Allen. But Chloe Thompson's coming up as they come up on the 200-yard mark, and it's just under 2 minutes. And it looks like Chloe Thompson a faster split there at 30.3 for that particular 50 and is taking the lead. Again, she's a back half swimmer, and she'll try to go. Her coach, Mark Goal, even though he coaches Bentonville, like I said, these ladies swim together at Bentonville and Bentonville West a lot on the club team, and Chloe has just taken the lead. She's also qualified for junior nationals, so we'll have a big meet coming up. Again, taking advantage of that 5'10" frame that she has and a long, smooth stroke, and really has great technique from that. She's got a 4-beat kick going, breathing on her right side. And Avery Spencer also getting some instruction from Coach Goal as she's breathing on her left side, and he just signaled over to her. So anyway, Chloe's starting to increase her lead as they come up on the 300-yard mark, 8 lengths to go. And she's getting a good push from lanes 5 and 6, Fayetteville, Ashley Allen, and Little Rock Central, Ainsley Jenkins. So Chloe at the still under 3 minutes at the 300 mark. Avery Spencer looks like she's in 4th place, hoping to move up and pick up points. Chloe Thompson from Bentonville West Wolverines continues to lead as they come up on the 14 length of 20 length mark. trying to increase that lead. She's really looking. She just looked over at Mark Gohl, her coach, right there, as she came into the 350 mark. And again, a 30.5 split. Lane 6 split faster. Ainsley Jenkins had a faster 50 there. She's looking to move up into second place and get in contention to sprint past Chloe at the end. As they come into the far wall here, there's 100 yards to go. Chloe has a significant lead. I know that last year Ainsley Jenkins caught her at the end. Chloe trying to lengthen that and take advantage of her height. Just at 4 minutes at the 400. So this is going to be a very good time. Going to be off our state record, but Ainsley Jenkins is making a move. You can see her catching up to Chloe. There's 3 lengths to go. I see that Josie Harlow is counting for Chloe and really waving that particular counter and telling her she needs to pick it up and pick up that lead. But really close battle for second as they have 50 yards to go as they get the bell length. Chloe Thompson trying to double today and trying to win her first 500 free. Ainsley Jenkins trying to catch her. You'll see these ladies come up with the 6-beat kick, and it's going to be very close. Chloe with a slight lead, trying to hang on. Mark Gohl really encouraging them. Chloe's got a slight lead. Looks like she may be able to hold on this year and win this 500 free. She's going to be really close to 5 minutes, which is a great time. And that's her best time, and she is just over 5 minutes. 5:00:00.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
She's never broken 5 minutes, so that's her best time, and very close. 1/100th of a second separates second and third. Excuse me, and second was Ashley Allen from Fayetteville at 5:00:50, so within 5/10 of Chloe. And 5:00:51, 100th behind was Ainsley Jenkins, our defending champion. Avery Spencer was fourth from Bentonville. She was third in this event last year with a great time of 5:06:38. So I know at least, I think those top 4 are all lifetime best. Fifth place, Taylor Horan from Fayetteville. Fayetteville picking up a lot of points at 5:17, and sixth, 5:30.6 is Brooke Holly from Bentonville. So pretty good points for Bentonville there, but also Fayetteville picking up a number of points since they had somebody win the earlier final. It's looking like they're going to also place 7th. So
You know, Scott, just knowing how fast these girls are in this event, seeing that 4:48.28 from Jenny Holtzen 10 years ago really puts that mark in perspective. That was a fast swim.
Yeah, and she won that. I was at that race, and she probably won that by close to 50 yards. I remember that Jessie Nemesi was second, the only one in the field that wasn't lapped in that particular thing. And Jenny wasn't even fully tapered, but, she was very talented swimmer. The last year, she didn't swim the 500. She would have gone faster her senior year, but she concentrated on 100 breast to get that state record. And as it goes in swimming, she had, I think, 4 state records when she left, and there's only 1 left. So,
my goodness.
Even though she's a great swimmer, there's other good swimmers that come along and go faster. And with new improving technology and new improving pools and different things, leads to faster swims. So I know that, Jenny was a great swimmer. I think she's married now, lives in Chicago after graduating from the University of Wisconsin and swimming 4 years there. But just a great swimmer. And, Taylor Pike and Haley Pike came through, didn't quite get those times, but also went very fast. But I'm sure Chloe Thompson is happy with that time, but probably wishes she went 1/100th of a second faster. But 3 athletes within 5/10 of a second, that's incredible over a 20-length race, and very, very good results. Chloe swam a great race. That's her lifetime best. But the other 2 ladies also, second and third, were the lifetime best. I thought that Ainsley Jenkins was going to come back, but Chloe probably learned from last year, losing at the end. And
I think you're right, yeah.
Looked over, and coming home, she could see those ladies as she breathed to the right.
Well, I think we'll probably take a little time here to recognize our sponsors one more time, and we'll maybe have a commercial or 2 here in a little bit. But first we'll hit the sponsors. Again, they are Jimmy John's, Centennial Bank, and then Farm Bureau of Arkansas. We're still a little bit from commercials, so we'll just keep talking, Scott.
Chris, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good.
Okay, so we have probably another 9 or 10 minutes before the next event starts. The next event, just a preview here, will be the girls 200-yard freestyle relay. We will have 2 heats of that. The first heat will involve Conway High School, Springdale High School, Springdale Harbor, and then Rogers Heritage. So we'll take a few minutes of a break here and just let you have a view of the pool. Be right back.
It was raining.
That teen was texting.
The deer was crossing. The guy was looking at his maps.
At Bob Morey's Auto Body, no matter the excuse, they'll fix it for you. Look us up on the web, call or come by now. Make sure you pay attention. Watch out for that. Bob Morey's Auto Body. It's your car. It's your choice.
Choose wisely.
At BobMoreyAutoBody.com.
Since 1996, Bob Morey's Auto Body has worked hard at providing you the best all-around automotive collision repair. It is a pleasure getting to serve you Northwest Arkansas. With 14 service bays, we can handle large and small repairs along with auto glass replacement.
In this part of the country, it's a way of life. You're going about your day without a cloud in the sky. Then suddenly, you find yourself wondering how solid your home really is. With nearly 25 years of certified experience, let our team give you the same assurance on a stormy night that you feel on a clear afternoon. Before the downpour, before the leaks, call Foster Roofing, serving Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley since 1994.
Foster Roofing has been helping Arkansas homeowners weather every storm for over 25 years. If your roof was damaged by the recent storm, be aware that out-of-state roofing companies may try to pose as local businesses. Choose an Arkansas state licensed local company for your roof repair. Choose Foster Roofing.
It could happen to me.
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 It did happen to me.
A heat stroke can happen to anyone, and it's 100% preventable. Always remember, prehydrate, hydrate, and rehydrate. For more tips on proper hydration, go to KendrickFincher.org.
At Northwest Health System Bentonville and Springdale, we understand that life is too short to spend hours in an ER waiting room. And we know that in an emergency, minutes really do matter. So our entire team is committed to working diligently to have you initially seen by a clinical professional in 30 minutes or less, because we think you should spend less time waiting and more time feeling better. The 30 minutes or less ER service pledge, only at Northwest Health System Bentonville and Springdale.
I'm coming up on 33. I have all my clothes. Wow.
You guys got a commercial and they're giving update on scores. We're going to give an update on scores and then go straight to the next event. Okay. All right, so an update on our team scores. Currently in first place.
At Northwest Health System Bentonville and Springdale, we understand that life is too short to spend hours in an ER waiting room. And we know that in an emergency, minutes really do matter. So our entire team is committed to working diligently to have you initially seen by a clinical professional in 30 minutes or less, because we think you should spend less time waiting and more time feeling better. The 30 minutes or less ER service pledge, only at Northwest Health System Bentonville and Springdale.
Ninth is Rogers.
It was raining.
10th is Harbor.
That teen was texting.
11th is
The deer was crossing. The guy was looking at his map.
At Bob Morey's Auto Body, no matter the excuse, they'll fix it for you. Look us up on the web, call or come by now. Make sure you pay attention. Watch out for that. Bob Morey's Auto Body. It's your car. It's your choice.
Choose wisely.
At BobMoreyAutoBody.com.
Heat of 2 in lane 3, we'll have Conway High School. In lane 4, Springdale High School. In lane 5, Springdale Harbor. And in lane 6, Rogers Heritage. And that, again, that goes from left to right on your viewing screen.
And Conway was second in this event last year. Obviously graduated some seniors, but I expect them to have a pretty good, probably win this first heat. Is the Conway always has good 200 free relay, but pretty close meet so far. Bentonville holding on to a slight lead, and as we figured it out, Fayetteville and Little Rock Central did well in the 100 and 500 free. So as you look at the events coming up, Central is favored to win this 200 free relay with the strength of Lindsay Hammond, who won both the 50 and 100. That seems like it will come to fruition, but they'll pick up more points there. Fayetteville has also had a lot of great freestylers, so they're holding on to third right now, and Bentonville West is hoping to catch them with some of the remaining events. But
the relays essentially account for double the point opportunity.
Double the points. So if it's 20 points to win an event, it's 40 to win the relay. So double all the way down to the last place here. So all these ladies, if they do their exchanges and there's no disqualifications, will score valuable points for their team. So, as I said, Little Rock Central is the #1 seed coming into this and has the lady that won the 50 and 100 free. So they probably will do real well in this particular relay. But again, double points. So as we look at the heats coming up, I expect Conway to kind of win this as we have the whistle for them to get on the blocks to start this first heat of the women's 200 free relay. again, 200 free relay. Each swimmer swims 2 lengths to the pool and exchanges. The person has to touch the wall before the other person leads the blocks. That's done by both. There's a pad on the block that will sense that, and there's also judges that will judge that and different things on the takeoff. So very important on the takeoffs, but it looks like lane 5, Harbor with a nice lead starting off here, followed closely by Springdale and then by Conway. Heritage also with a relay here in 4th place. So as we come in and leading this first heat, Harbor with a slight lead, followed closely by Springdale. Then Conway and Heritage, as we have four teams on here.
Scott, can you talk quickly about what the official or legal handoff is at a relay?
Sure. So the athlete swimming has to touch the wall before the person's toes or feet leave the blocks. So the way you're taught as an official when you time is to look down when the person touches the wall and then look to see if the feet have left the blocks yet. And then you know it's illegal. If they have, then you raise your hand. And at a national meet, they'll have the pad and they also have a video review. Here, they would just have the pad. And the judges, you can see there's not much need for disqualifications in a relay. So the stroke judges are all at the end of the pool looking at the takeoffs, and that's what they're judging. So,
right. So the next swimmer can be in motion as long as their feet have not left the block.
That's correct. And some of them do kind of a jump start type of thing, which will give us false sense to the pad, as we have a very close race with Harbor just holding off Springdale as they come in. But yeah, they can be in motion as long as their feet are still in contact with the block. It's a legal start.
Very close finish on that one.
Yes, yeah, 4/100ths of a second, but that was Harbor holding on. Conway for 3rd with 2:01. So some of those teams could move into the top 8 if this last heat comes up. And yeah, so basically with the slanted blocks and things, what you want to do is move your arms and swing them in a circle and get momentum going to where your body is almost fully extended. There's a sensor on the pad that will look at that, and as long as it's 2/100ths of a second either way, that's a legal start. If it's more than that, it raises the thing. But you also get a visual aid from the officials trying to get that, and you see them, those white shirts are standing at the end of the pool to judge just those takeoffs.
In the water for heat 2 of the girls 200-yard freestyle relay. In lane 1, we have North Little Rock. Lane 2, Fayetteville. Lane 3, Bentonville West. Lane 4, Little Rock Central. Lane 5, Bentonville High School. Lane 6, Cabot. Lane 7, Rogers. And in lane 8, Bryant.
Yeah, if you noticed, lane 3, Bentonville West, stayed underwater for the full 15 meters, which is the legal amount in there. But Little Rock Central with a slight lead. Actually, Bentonville touched first there. I'll have to stand up again. So basically, Bentonville has got a slight lead over Little Rock Central in this 200 free relay. Followed in lane 2, that's Fayetteville. Expected to have a lot of strong freestylers in this event. Very close between the Bentonville Tigers and the Little Rock Central Tigers as they come up on the halfway point of this relay, and they're neck and neck. Bentonville with a slight lead. I imagine that Lindsey Hammond will probably anchor for Central, so they have an advantage coming up, as Bentonville and Central are stroke for stroke as they come with 3 lengths left. One swimmer, the anchor swimmer, coming also in lane 2. That looks like Fayetteville's in 3rd place. Little Rock Central just took the lead as they have the state champion in the 50 free coming up anchor, and Bentonville is just behind them in 2nd. But it looks like Little Rock Central is going to hold their seed and win this 200 free relay. The state record in this event is held by Bentonville. Alexa Teninico, Alexis Abernathy, Ansu Chan, and Emily Horton, set way back in 2014. And they're slightly slower than that state record, but Bentonville will hold that state record. Little Rock Central first, Bentonville 2nd, and then 3rd is Fayetteville High School. 4th was Cabot. And 5th in lane 8, Bryant, and in 6th, lane 1, which is North Little Rock. So again, as predicted, Little Rock Central winning that event. and Bentonville High School in second, just off the state record, which was set by a lot of good freestyle sprinters now 7 years ago. And if you remember back in 2014, there was a big snowstorm. Not many people got up to even watch that event. No, she came up the night before. I think it snowed something like 20 inches and had very limited spectators, kind of like today. But,
I remember it well, yeah.
That would have been Hayden's freshman year, but I remember getting up there and, it was very sparsely attended. I mean, it's usually armed people in there, and that was just because the weather prohibited most of the people from getting in there. So, very close race there, kind of a different strategy. Most of the time on relays, and now somebody's got a really good start, you'll put your fastest swimmer last, and there's different philosophies. Second fastest swimmer will go first, or somebody that maybe want to get a 50 time. Third fastest swimmer, either second or third, and, and it's different on the coach. I know in talking to Mark Gold, he likes to have his swimmers, he likes his swimmers to get a lead. In other words, put the fastest swimmers first. It looks like that's what he did there. And the reason for doing that is to get that clear water. And it gives an advantage and gives these other people out there. And what Mark has told me is that he looks at the personality of the swimmers and says, okay, so-and-so will be doing good under pressure. I remember my son, they put him in the anchor of the sectional relay in 2014 in Florida. And he went last, and he ended up holding off a young Caleb Dressel to win that 200 free relay.
Oh, my goodness.
Got it on tape. So, of course, Andrew was about 21, and Caleb was about 16, but still an accomplishment to hold him off.
Absolutely.
So, anyway, different philosophies on there, and I always like the philosophy, the fastest swimmer going last. Usually your fastest swimmer is very competitive, and, in this case, Little Rock came back the last two legs and took the lead, but as Bentonville put their better two swimmers on that particular relay, put them first and second to get a lead. And I think that Bentonville will probably be pretty good in this 400 free relay, but again, hats off to Little Rock Central winning that relay.
Well, depth is so important in these state meets just because you have a limited number of events that a swimmer can participate in, and you have to be able to move them around like chess pieces to pair them up right to gain you the most points. And if you can't swim them in everything, your best swimmers, then you have to use some strategy there about where you put them.
And there's some gamesmanship too. If you notice, they have to declare one of 8 swimmers to be on these relays and stuff. And the coach, since it was supposed to be predicted to be a very close competition, the coaches are holding those pretty close to the vest and different things. Obviously, you have somebody like Leanne Yu that's a great swimmer. She swam the first relay and helped win that. She's probably on the last relay since we didn't see her on that one. But she's got the 100 breast coming up, which she's also the defending champion in. And these athletes have to be in great shape to be able to turn that around and go just a super effort. 4 swims in one day is very, very tough to be able to do that. So, but, again, Bentonville West was 8th in that one, and they're trying to move up, for the team standings. And again, we keep getting those refreshed, and it's very close competition, and we're looking for.
So yeah, it's probably time, since we have so many more points added from the relay here, to provide another update. So currently in first place you have Bentonville High School with 331 points. Little Rock Central High School with 285, so the gap has closed there. In third place, Fayetteville with 250. In fourth place, Bentonville West with 177. In fifth place, Cabot High School with 133. And then down the line from there, you have Bryant High School with 92, Conway with 79, Rogers with 70, Harbor High School with 66, North Little Rock 57, Mount St. Mary's 55, Springdale High School 35, Rogers Heritage with 20, and Fort Smith Southside with 5.
Yeah, and obviously the ladies and the girls and boys usually go together, but for social distancing, they're going separate. We expect a really close meet tonight as we talk about that. As I added up the points and with diving and things, I think the predicted score is within 4 points of each other. So we should see a really exciting meet tonight. And then if you look at available events left, right now we have the 100 backstroke, the 100 breast, and the 400 free relay. And looks like Bentonville is probably favored to win their third in a row right now, but that boys meet later today will be really exciting. And hopefully you can tune in to Tiger Sports Network and watch that. But these athletes are doing a great job here today. And again, I can't say enough about all the officials and all this work that goes on behind the camera. But we have officials escorting people in, making sure they see their kids' events and stuff. Fortunately, with the time breaks, there's time to get that done. But, you know, it's important for parents who support their kids to get in here and to see their athletes swim. Not everybody could make it, so a lot of people listen to us two knuckleheads online here. So
Right.
anyway, we hope to do that for you. But anyway, we have 3 events left: 100 backstroke, 100 breaststroke, and a 400 free relay. And right now it looks like Bentonville's on track with no disqualifications and things to do their third in a row for the ladies' title. A lot of effort here, and a lot of good swims. If we look at the state records coming up, the 100 backstroke state record is held by Brooklyn Anderson, set last year. And the 100 breaststroke record is set by Arkansas's Bella Cothran, set in 2018. I think she went faster last year, but that was part of the 5A thing since they've split the meet. And then the 400 free relay, that record was set in 2017 by Kayla Pike, Gabby Collins, Lainey Glant, and Lauren Hedgecock. So we have some fast swimmers, and these swimmers do other events as well. I know Valeria, who's coming up in the backstroke, she's also a violinist and plays orchestra and dedicates a lot of time to that. So anyway, there's a lot of effort that goes into that, and you know, we're trying to support these people and do the best that we can in there. But a lot of effort as they get back to these last 3 events. There's most of these people are swimming their second or third event with relays, and stamina in their training is going to be really important, especially that last 25. So
I mean, we talked earlier, about strategy, and if you know as a coach going into the last relay of the meet that maybe you have a fairly slim lead in the team points, you can adequately place from the top 2 or 3 with your relay, but you maybe have a chance to do something even more special and get maybe set a record.
Yeah.
Do you play it safe, or do you tell them to go out there and go for it?
I'll go back to my son's 2010, 2011. 2010, the meet came down to the last relay. Bentonville, and the relays were double, so Bentonville won that last relay by several hundredths of a second with Pearson Jean anchoring that thing, and they won the meet by 1 point because they got first, and Catholic, who had a couple Division II swimmers, and Sam Olson and Nick McCarthy, who both swam at Drury. Bentonville won that and won the meet by 1 point. So it came down to the end. The next year, they needed that last relay to win, but they didn't need to win the relay. They just need to score. And Bentonville did win that, not in the state record time as the year before, but they had really, really slow starts. I remember Pearson Jean probably waiting a second just to make sure they didn't get DQ'd, because the only way they could lose the meet was to be DQ'd. But in the heat of the moment, I know that, what Mark would say is, do a conservative start, but, don't give away a second either.
Sure.
So they're going to want to do that. If we look at these teams going on to sectionals and things, a lot of times the teams are going to have different components and different people on that. And they're certainly going to be going after a state record, but you never want to get disqualified. But if you see somebody going into the end, they might be a little bit more conservative on those starts than they would be if the meet was in hand. Conversely, there's been years where Bentonville, has had, I remember one of Hayden's years, they had the meet wrapped up long before that last event, and they had everybody push those starts and went what's still the state record for the boys by by doing that. And that was even after Bentonville West split. I think they would have been 3 or 4 seconds faster if the high schools wouldn't have split at the time. But anyway, those were some good relays and some different philosophies. But in general, you don't want to give away points, but you also don't want to be reckless on that start either. And, they don't get to work on those starts a lot. So you see, this is held the championship way. When Bentonville and when the Sharks practice, they're always going widthwise, so not using the blocks a lot. So every Friday, they've set in the coaching staff where they get to use the blocks and take advantage of that. So because of safety and some other things, they don't get to practice the starts a lot. And that's, hurt them some. So to meet like this, you'll see some things out there and adjusting the back flap and different things. So all of those lead to some challenges for the athletes and the coaching staff. But every Friday they'll go a fast workout and they get to use the blocks and get their techniques to the ultimate on that particular part of the race.
So just a couple of notable items leading into this next event. We have the current record holder in this event. Brooklyn Anderson will be in lane 3 on the second heat from Conway. Ellie Schrank and Emma on the Hill are 2 newcomers to this event this year, both freshmen, I believe, up-and-comers that are seated first and second. Betsy Ponder is, if I believe is correct, is currently committed to go swim at Delta State.
They've got a great 50-meter pool there in Cleveland, Mississippi. Very, very good school and very good swim team.
Yeah. And then the other item I saw here, Olivia Chambers is currently committed to go swim at Northern Iowa. So all of that in the second heat.
Yep, and then Delta State's in the same conference as Ouachita Baptist and Henderson State, so they all swim down there. And there's a lot of meets held there in Cleveland, Mississippi. Small town, but great pool, great facility, and they have their conference meet there every year.
And they've had their moments of glory, I know, through the years. Delta State's had some times when they've maybe even won some national championships at the.
Yeah, they've been top 5. I believe they've had some different coaches along the way. In fact, one of the coaches at the Aquahogs used to be there a long time ago. But there's right now Queens has won in Division II a lot of championships in a row, and their coaches at SwimMac and things have done really well.
Okay, I'll announce the swimmers in just a moment. Okay, in the water for heat 1 of 2 for the girls' 100-yard backstroke in lane 1, Wicklund from Rogers High School, Ellie Chris in lane 2 from Bentonville, Bratton from Bryant in lane 3, Llewellyn from Fayetteville in lane 4, Tankersley from Conway in lane 5, Lincoln from Little Rock Central in lane 6, Livingston from Harbor in lane 7, and Moorcraft from Cabot in lane 8.
Looks like lane 3, Shelby Bratton from Bryant with a slight lead at the 50. Wanted to point out Ellie Chris, her dad's the announcer at these meets and has been for a number of years, so you'll hear him announcing the final results and point scores here. Again, it's just a volunteer from Bentonville High School, but as we have 1 length to go here, Shelby Bratton from Bryant Hornets has a slight lead, given a challenge in lane 5 from Jamie Tankerley from Conway. As they come into the finish, again, looking to establish a good time to beat some score in the others. But lane 3, 102.76, that's Shelby Bratton.
Almost a 4-second drop.
Yeah, and in lane 5, that's Jamie Tankersley. She comes in second for Conway. Those ladies hoping to move up in the final heat and score some valuable points as this team competition is very close. And as Scott said, Brooke Anderson is defending champion in lane 3. Valeria from Bentonville was 3rd last year, and Betsy Ponder from North Little Rock was 4th, with a couple freshmen in their first state high school swimming competition.
In the water for heat 2 of 2 of the girls' 100-yard backstroke, we have in lane 1 Valeria Mazariegos from Bentonville, Betsy Ponder in lane 2 from North Little Rock, Lane 3, Brooklyn Anderson from Conway. Lane 4, Ellie Schrank from Bentonville West. Lane 5, Emma on the Hill from Bentonville. Lane 6, Olivia Chambers from Mount St. Mary's. Lane 7, Ann Jean from Little Rock Central. And in Lane 8, Anna Lehman from Cabot.
Again, Anna and Brooklyn Anderson at lane 3, defending state champion out in 27.82. She'd have to come back in 29 to break that state record. She's capable of doing that in the backstroke, and she's got a big lead. Lane 6, Olivia Chambers from Mount St. Mary's is second, as the freshmen in the middle of the pool are also in contention. But Brooklyn Anderson Conway is going to win this. The state record again. She's going for that particular thing. Let's see if she gets it. Just off 56.87. There's 0.2 off of her state record. In second place in lane 6 was Olivia Chambers from Mount St. Mary's. Third in lane 5, Bentonville's Emma on the Hill. And fourth in lane 4 was another freshman, Ellie Schrank from Bentonville West. Fifth, lane 2, Betsy Ponder after fourth from last year. And sixth, 101.37 was Anna Zahn from Little Rock Central. And seventh, Valeria, she was 103.47. So scoring, that would be 12 points for the Bentonville Tigers. So obviously a good race. Brooklyn Anderson, you said swimming at Delta State, committed to there. Very good program with some good history there. And very good time. She went out after that and really had a good swim there in her 100 backstroke. The next event, which is the 100 breast, we're going to have 3 heats of that. Is a lot of people qualified for that particular event. We had an extra person in that. So Leanne Yu is the defending state champion in that particular event, and looks to get her second win of the day, and including the 200 medley relay, her third win. And she probably has the 400 free relay coming up. We almost lost our camera here, but nice save over there. Is because of where we're situated, a lot of athletes have to walk by those cameras, and so we try to get those set up. And again, officials doing the best they can here, but we did save the camera, and we're able to broadcast these last 2 events. Last year's results, if you look back to 2020, Bentonville won with 419.5 points. Central second at 344. Fayetteville was third, and Bentonville West was fourth, and a pretty close meet, as it looks to be close again this year. As we look at, probably like a lot of you are on Meet Mobile, and look at the updates as far as the scoring goes. And I'll just go through the women's, but Bentonville High School, the Tigers continue to hold a slight lead with 331 points. Little Rock Central is second at 285. Fayetteville High School, the Bulldogs, are third at 250. Bentonville West with 177, and Cabot rounding off the top 5 at 133. So very close competition with 2 events to go. Looks like Bentonville hopes to hold on to this last lead. As I wrote out the scores, Bentonville's favored to score more points in the last 2 events, so it looks like they'll hold on for their 3rd state championship. But I'm sure Mark Gohl and Liz Braun are telling them to finish legally and make sure they capture all those points.
There's a lot of technical aspects to finishing legally, isn't there? The proper touches, the proper turns.
Yeah,
starts.
not as much as in freestyle, but more in backstroke. They go underwater for up to 15 meters. There's yellow discs on the lane ropes that tell them they need to go up, so you have to come up at some point before getting into that. Fly and breaststroke, you have to touch both hands in a parallel fashion on the wall. Backstroke, you have to, stay on your back and turn over for the flip turn and get back under. So there's a lot of technical aspects, and the people that officiate these meets have usually you're an apprentice for 3 years before they make you a full official. So there's a lot of things they teach these people, and I've been going to swim meets for a long time. There's always something new that I'll see or something I've recalled that's never happened before, but kind of the nature of it. And, one of the things that's in the rule book is that people, these rules in there so people don't take advantage of it, so it's a fair playing field for everybody else. So what they always want to do is make sure that everybody's competing under the right thing versus you can do one dolphin kick off the wall and breaststroke, but you can't do more than that. And I was watching the SECs last night in Missouri, and an athlete finished in 9th place that was qualified for 2 dolphin kicks off the wall. So somebody that's very experienced, can have a disqualification, and the officials are there to make sure that it's a fair race for everybody competing.
Sure. So a quick update on points. We just tallied up the points from the last event. So in first place still is Bentonville High School with 359. Little Rock Central now has 304, 55 points behind. Fayetteville High School with 255 in third place. Bentonville West High School with 192 points in fourth. And Cabot High School with 141 points in fifth place.
I'm going to go out on a limb, and I'm going to say that the Tigers are going to win this. But
I think
that's
you're right. Unless something, barring a disqualification at the high end.
Well, since Little Rock Central is the Tigers as well, it will do that. But again, Bentonville looks favored to do their third championship, and as we look towards the boys tonight, Bentonville and Little Rock Central are going to very close race. Last year, Conway won that meet. And they graduated most of their seniors, most notably Ty Wingfield, who won the 50 free, competes now at Auburn University. And
along with Ryan Husband, who was
who just swam in the big SEC meet. And so, those two compete at the highest level, high school, against each other, and now get to be teammates in college. So a lot of athletes go out there, but we expect a very close boys meet right now, within 4 points of what the seed times and diving results are. And it will be exciting to watch, but we still have 2 more events in the ladies event. We just had Leanne walk in front of us, getting ready for her 100 breaststroke and hopefully defend her state championship there. She got ready, she's getting ready for this event coming up. And there's a lot of freshmen in here too. I saw she was with Addison Wickland, who swims for Rogers, a freshman. And, this afternoon we're going to have some freshmen compete in the boys event as well. So, it's very admirable, and their club coaches and their high school coaches get them ready for this event so they can compete on a high level. As we get ready for this, and you never know when their last events are going to be, but I know that Mackenzie Shevchik, who's a senior at Bentonville High School, is probably getting ready to swim her last race in this 100 breaststroke, her best race, but not planning to swim in high school, or in college rather, but got her last race coming up, and that's true of many athletes here as they're seniors. And that's why it's important to get the facility right and everything right, so these athletes are ready to compete and swim fast, and have us talk about them there. So
yeah, and that's a good point. And I know there's looking down the line here, we've got a few seniors probably getting ready to swim their last events, at least individual events. We've got I see Melissa Orvin on here from Bentonville. She's committed to go swim at Notre Dame College next year. I mentioned Jessica Bonfelt earlier. So yeah, it's I'm sure it's an emotional moment for them.
Yeah, and we mentioned Taylor Pike, who was a great swimmer for Bentonville High School a few years ago. If I'm remember, I think she won 2 events all 4 years, and relays and et cetera. Leanne's on pace to do that as a sophomore. She's getting ready to win her 4th event here in the 100 breast if she can hold on, but that's quite an accomplishment, especially starting at a young age for that.
Currently in second with 304 points is Central, and currently in first with 359 points is Bentonville.
And, I mentioned Taylor Pike, but Haley Pike, I think, won all but one event when she was in the 1 through 5A for high school, and she swims the 1650 today for Purdue University at the Big Ten Women's Championships. next week we have a couple former Bentonville Tigers that will swim at the men's Big Ten championship, and that's Zane Sutton and Hayden Harlow, who have were great swimmers in high school, still with a few state records, but they've performed very well at Penn State University, and look forward to watching them and watching them online. And
I do too.
Yeah, but some challenges there. I don't think you're able to go watch that in person, are you?
No, unfortunately, they won't let parents come in to watch it in person. The Big Ten's a little more on the conservative side with the rules and restrictions, but I'm glad they're getting to swim nonetheless.
But they have a beautiful cutout of you all ready to go to that meet, so, you know, nice cardboard. Sometimes, you know, that might be better than the original. But,
I was feeling a little flat that day.
But, yeah, that's just what you have to do to get the meet done. I know that at the SEC men's yesterday in Columbia, Missouri, they didn't have officials. They had officials on the deck, rather, but they didn't have the timers. And they had timers timed watching from afar just to make sure they were safe in the social distancing. And, you know, you had Elizabeth Beisel and Rowdy Gaines announcing that. And they just said what a great job all the officials did, which is the same thing as here. We've got great work from a lot of people to make sure this happened. And we're just glad that we get another Arkansas State championship here contested. And there was times we weren't sure we were going to get that done, but it looks like that we're going to get that done, and we'll get the boys done separately. A little bit more of a challenge than we've had in years past, but yet we'll hopefully return to a sense of normalcy as we continue on to this. But can't be too careful with the coronavirus and COVID-19, all that around. So the good news is I think the virus dies within a few seconds in the chlorine. But
I would imagine.
You know, at the SECs, what they did and what they're going to do at Nationals is every other lane for the relays, because the relays has so many more athletes, you know.
Behind the block, sure.
Behind the blocks, and that limits that. So, you know, some different challenges as far as that goes. But in general, we're just glad we're here competing. And again, 2 events left to go. And we'll see if Bentonville High School can hold on and Little Rock Central for second. So we look forward to these last 2 events. Jessica Bongfeld is seated first in this, and Leanna is seated second. So it should be a great race. And they're both going after Bella Cothran's state record from Jonesboro of 103.85. I believe we have 3 heats of this particular event.
Yep.
And so we'll have a couple athletes in the first heat and then 2 more heats after that. So very important to get a good time. One of these ladies will not score points, as we only scored a 16, but we'll get very good. It looks like there's just 2 in this first heat, and looks like they're almost getting ready to start.
I think we're about there. So again, as I announce the names, they are from left to right on your viewing screen. The lanes numbered 1 to 8.
So Scott, as you are a parent of these swimmers, a lot of time commitment from the parents' perspective too. I know Josie drives now, but a lot of times preparing meals, helping with homework, and all those things. So here's a thank you to all the parents to get your kids to practice, and hopefully it's resulted in good results of all the meets here. But it's more than just the athletes. It takes coaches, athletes, parents, and stuff to all make this successful.
Oh, for sure. And I know it's that way for all youth sports. The commitment from the parents to help their kids and participate is a big part of it. But swimming has certainly been a blessing to our family, and wouldn't change a thing.
Yeah, mine as well. So my parents took me and my brother to a lot of swim meets and practices. There's the whistle that signifies they're going to get up on the block. Second whistle means they get on the blocks.
Okay, in the water for heat 1 of 3 for the girls 100-yard breaststroke, we have in lane 4, Amy Bay from Little Rock Central, and in lane 5, Grace Geen from Fayetteville.
And then we go out there. Lane 4 from North Little Rock has a slight lead as she comes up on the 50. So that's Riley Bowles on my sheet. Is that the right one? Yeah. So anyway, at the 50, 34, 90, 94, and in lane 5, it's 37.89 as these two athletes look to score points. The state record time is 1:16. We had a couple come in tied, which let for the extra heat and the extra swimmer. So one of these people will not score, and so it's important that they get their best swim. In the breaststroke, you notice they go underwater. They take an underwater pull and one dolphin kick with both arms, and then a breaststroke pull, and they have to come to the surface before they start their second stroke. So basically, that's what's legal. She's going to drop a lot of time here. So in lane 4, that's Riley Bowles at 1.
I think it's Amy Geen,
okay.
Or Amy Bay from
Okay.
Little Rock Central.
All right, I have the wrong thing. So I guess the original heat sheet is incorrect.
Still a 4-second drop.
Yeah, very good. So I have, I guess I know why they reprinted mine, because it was incorrect. So, okay, I got it now. So as usual, Scott keeps me in line.
Okay, in the water for heat 2 of 3 for the girls 100-yard breaststroke. In lane 1, Breedlove from Cabot. Lane 2, Madison Hall from Bentonville. Lane 3, Rachel Herman from Little Rock Central. Lane 4, Shevchik from Bentonville. Lane 5, Sam Abel from Bentonville West. Lane 6, Campbell from Bentonville. Lane 7, Thomas from Cabot. Lane 8, Riley Bowles from North Little Rock.
And it looks like Mackenzie Shevchik is, Kenzie's got to lead it. They go it to the 50. She placed in this event last year. She was 13th, but it looks like she's trying to improve on that. And at the 50, she's out in 35.76 with a slight lead by 1/10 of a second over lane 3, which is Rachel Hammond. Looks like the younger sister of the winner of the 50 and the 100. So good family effort there. Mackenzie still has a slight lead. Lane 6 is Emma Campbell, her teammate from Bentonville, also competing for the lead here. As Mackenzie, the senior from Bentonville, has a slight lead. Her dad was an outstanding swimmer at Brigham Young University, and some of those genes have led their way towards Mackenzie as she comes up, and I think is what's going to be a lifetime best, 1:14.19, a couple second drop, and I'm sure she's happy with that as you see her wave her arms and scoring valuable points for Bentonville High School. Second in that heat was Emma Campbell from Bentonville also, and third in that heat was lane 5, which was Sam Abel from Bentonville West. So, and she's a senior, probably her last event as well. This should be a good race.
In the heat, or in the water for heat 3 of 3 for the girls 100-yard breaststroke. In lane 1, we have Melissa Orban from Bentonville West. Lane 2, Coughlin from Little Rock Central. Lane 3, Addison Wickland from Rogers. Lane 4, Jessica Bongfeld from Cabot. Lane 5, Lan Fang Yu from Bentonville. Lane 6, Sailor Wilson from Harbor. Lane 7, Gould from Bryant. And lane 8, Riley Riddell from Bentonville West.
Very close race as Leanne has got a slight lead over Jessica. In lane 5, she's out in 30.0. That could come close to the state record of 103.85 set a couple years ago by Bella Coughlin. Leanne looks great here. I mean, she's really extending her lead. The sophomore trying to go 4 for 4 in state competitions. These close competitions must bring out the best in her. She looks fantastic. She's going to be close to that state record as she lengthens her lead, but Jessica Bongfeld's going to be second, but Leanne has got it all the way. She's going to have a very fast time. Let's see what it is here. If she can get second state record, 102.85.
Wow.
Congratulations, Leanne.
A full second drop off the state record.
Wow, and just a sophomore, so she continue that. Just rounding out the top 5. We have Jessica Bongfeld, also a good time, 105.27. Third in lane 3 was Addison Wickland, a freshman from Rogers at 104.21. Fourth in lane 6 was Sarah Wilson from Harbor. Fifth in lane 2 was Alexa Coughlin from Little Rock Central. And sixth, rounding out what would be the podium, in lane lane 1 would have been Melissa Orvin from Bentonville West, but actually Mackenzie Shevchik, with that time from the previous heat, she comes in 7th. Actually, it looks like a tie for 7th with Alana Gold from Bryant. So anyway, Leanne is getting greeted by her teammates there, very excited with that particular time. So as she should be. That was a very good time, 102. It probably makes a junior national cut for her in the breaststroke. So
I would think so.
very, very impressive swim. Leanne swimming down. I think she's on this 400 free relay to conclude the meet, but she's in great shape, and she works really, really hard. And I know that she also started swimming at a really young age. I want to say 4 or 5. And Carolyn Hafner, a longtime coach of Bentonville, the Walmart Swim Club, the Sharks, and now at Aquahogs, I think taught her how to swim when she was about 5 years old. So probably that's the reason her technique is so good, based on Carolyn Hafner's tutelage there, and she's certainly
set the foundation. Yeah.
She's taught a lot of kids and a lot of people how to swim over her 80 years on this planet, and it's impressive to see Leanne, who works so hard, doing very well. And about 3/4 of the way through the year, she really started probably something with the technique and things really started going well, and you saw that in the IM and the breaststroke. She was expecting a close race, as the other gal was far behind her, Jessica Bongfeld, but Leanne went out after it, out in 30-point, back and shot in 30.1, back in 32.7, which is a very nice split. We consider it about 2 seconds for going off the blocks. Could result in the state record.
And I think it appears that locked it up for Bentonville High School. I think they've won their.
Even with the disqualification in the last relay, they could still win that.
Yeah. So we're going to project now that Bentonville High School is the winner. In second place currently is Little Rock Central High School, and they've apparently got second place locked up. In third place is Fayetteville High School with 2:55, and fourth place currently is Bentonville West High School with 2:20. So still a little bit to be determined there for the third, fourth place placing. And fifth place we have Cabot High School with 1:59, and in sixth place Bryant High School with 1:16, Conway with 1:10, Rogers with 88, Springdale Harbor with 85. Close race between them and Rogers for sure. North Little Rock at 73 points. Mount St. Mary's in 11th with 72, right behind North Little Rock. Springdale High School with 35 points. Rogers High School with 20. And with 5 points, rounding out in 14th place, Fort Smith Southside.
Well, and this last relay is worth double the points, but last year Bentonville won this particular thing. Even with a disqualification, they're going to win their third straight title. Little Rock Central is going to be second. It looks like Fayetteville is probably going to be third and Bentonville West fourth, but Fayetteville has had a lot of strong freestylers today, and they'll probably be very good in this 400 free relay. But you always try to win these state championships, and winning the last event, which is the 400 free relay. I know that Bentonville will be very excited to do that, but regardless, they're going to be very excited to come home with another state championship and add to the hardware.
Well, there have been a lot of state championships split between those two programs over the years.
Yep, absolutely. And Bentonville started winning them in about 92 or so, and has had a great tradition. So we're just glad we're here to watch it and to bring it to you on the Tiger Sports Network. So as we get ready for this last event, thank you to all the officials and things. The boys' meet starts at 4 o'clock today, and we'll be behind the microphone for that. And, look forward to bringing that to you. I wish all of you could be here in person, but we're keeping a safe environment for the swimmers. And as I look to my left here, you got officials bringing people in and out of the facility, and a lot of the breaststroker parents and things did escort out of here. So we have a lot of banners of the seniors up there, and so certainly as I look across, Jake Noble going to be going to Lindenwood to swim. and some will be ending their careers right here. So nice tribute that they started a couple of years ago with these banners hanging on the side of the pool. Kind of, I know when the Bentonville Tigers play football, I've heard other schools say it's very intimidating to see those guys come out of the tack and with the smoke and all these different things. We've tried to create a somewhat environment here, but I think it's a little bit different with all the different swimming together and different things. But Bentonville has certainly got a great tradition going and can continue it with the girls. I'm sure the boys in Little Rock Central will give us a nice close race for tonight. Again, with the projected finishing, it's within 4 points between the two schools, so that really the performances at the finals will determine a state champion.
So the last event coming up here in just a few moments is going to be the girls' 400-yard freestyle relay. We will have 2 heats. And just a little preview on the first heat. It's going to involve in lane 3 Springdale High School, lane 4 Conway, lane 5 North Little Rock, and then lane 6 Springdale Harbor. So we'll touch base on that again here in a little bit when we get started.
And the state record, as I said previous, is set in 2017, held by Bentonville. Taylor Pike, Gabby Collins, Laney Quant, and Lauren Hedscock set that record. Obviously, Taylor led that off in a state record of the 100 free, which you can do on that. But that record, looking at the performance of Bentonville High School and Leanne's on that last relay, you know, they could break that state record. They have, you know, Grace Robbins, Avery Spencer,
Catherine
Thomas,
yeah.
and Leanne. Those are 4 pretty good swimmers. So they could threaten that state record. They'd love nothing better than to finish that, and they could go for it on their starts.
Yep.
Conversely, Bentonville West is walking right in front of us, getting ready for their last relay, and they have 2-time state champion here, Chloe Thompson, on that relay, so they should be pretty formidable. Looks like Josie Harlow and a couple others.
Jenna Gogol, I think.
Yeah, Ellie Euler, is it?
And then Fayetteville is stacked as well. So
yeah, they had 4 people placed in the 100 free, so they should be a formidable team as well.
You know, on that team from that record-holding team from 2017 was Laney Quant, who is a multi-sport talent and currently runs track for University of Arkansas.
Yep, it's in her sophomore year, and a twin. Her brother didn't swim, but Laney was a fantastic swimmer, but an even better track star in cross country, and she's done well for the Razorbacks down there. Great athlete, even better person. So it's good to see her have success. She said she had a love-hate relationship with swimming. She would get a little bit more nervous in swimming than in running, but obviously performed at a really high level. I think second in a couple events individually. And really that was her sport until later running came through. And she did a lot of charity work, does mission work in Fellowship Bible Church where she goes to church. And she also, does real well and gives back on some of those things. So I know that she's real involved in the track season. As indoors is coming up at SECs, and we wish her luck in that. But, there was 4 pretty good swimmers before really fine young ladies that were on that relay, and probably one of the reasons they had such good results. So hats off to all of them. And as we said, Taylor Pike was second in SECs in the 200 fly just recently. I think also was top 4 or 5 in the 100 fly. And she's got Olympic trials coming up in Omaha where she has a couple cuts. So
well, she's a multiple A final placer in the SEC, which is
and 5 years ago now for Olympic trials when she was a junior in high school, she did make the semifinals in that event. So
she did, yeah.
I tend to follow all these people in their swimming careers and wish them nothing but luck. And again, it takes a lot of dedication and stamina to compete in this sport. And we're very fortunate to have great coaches all around the state: Little Rock, Conway, Northwest Arkansas, Jonesboro, to have these people perform at such a high level at the state meet.
Okay, here we go. Final call for the last event, first heat of the last event, the girls 400-yard freestyle relay.
And freestyle means they can swim any stroke. The Australian crawl is typically what they do in freestyle. It's just the fastest stroke.
So a swimmer could opt to jump in and dive in and swim butterfly or breaststroke if they were actually
if
faster.
they wanted
right?
to. I've seen that happen a few times, but especially with the improvement of techniques, freestyle, the Australian crawl is the fastest stroke by a lot. It's also one you can do with greater endurance, and you don't fade as much at the end as you would in freestyle. But you notice what a lot of them do. Will do the dolphin kick off the start, and that's faster. Eddie Reese at Texas calls that the fifth stroke is just dolphin kicking. And Mark Gold certainly works on that a ton.
And you see that advantage really come out with elite swimmers, the Lochtys and the Dressels of the world, who can really use that underwater dolphin kick to their advantage.
Started in the early 80s. A gentleman from Iowa, his name escapes me, was doing this. He's from Great Britain. And there was no rules about when you had to come up and stuff. And then I remember trying it at a meet once. I was always one of the best kickers on my team, if not the best. And I swam 100 back and went to world-class swimmers, and I was beating them at the 50. Unfortunately, I hadn't trained to swim that far underwater and faded. I think they beat me by about 5 seconds in the 100 back. But, they've done that. And in the 88 Olympics, David Burkhoff did the underwater and went 35 meters underwater and won a gold medal in the relay and was second in the 100 back. But since then, they want, for safety and for to make it, swim in the backstroke, they are only allowed to go 15 meters underwater, which those yellow discs off each wall is that.
And I think the recent Lochte rule was around using the underwater the backstroke version of the dolphin kick, so you're upside down. I guess you get a little more power that way.
Right, and what his was the medley relay, and individual medley, it says you can go butterfly, backstroke, breaststroke, and any other stroke.
Mm-hmm. So
if he pushed off on his back, which he was doing on freestyle, which is fine, he was repeating the backstroke, so that was a disqualification. There was a lot of things back and forth, and going into the Olympics, he didn't do that, even though it was faster. He hit on his side at a 45-degree angle and pushed off on his stomach, and that's the reason for that rule. It's stated that way in the rule book, and that's the relay for that. But the dolphin kick is faster. They're limited to 15 yards, or 15 meters rather, and that's why they stay under for that. As we're getting ready for the second to last heat, and Scott already read the first final, heat 1 of 2 in the 400 free relay.
Okay, as a reminder here in Heat 1 of the 400-yard freestyle relay, in Lane 3, Springdale, Lane 4, Conway, Lane 5, North Little Rock, and in Lane 6, Harbor High School.
Springdale was 5th in this relay last year. You never know who is on this relay, but it looks like the early lead is Lane 4, which is Conway. They have several athletes, including Brooklyn Anderson, who just swam backstroke, that's probably on this relay that will give them quite an advantage to go forward here. But there is four relay teams here and 8 in the final, so 12. If they keep from just being disqualified, they're all going to score here. But the early league, each swimmer is going to swim 4 lengths of freestyle. And again, as we explained earlier on the exchanges, the person has to touch the wall before the next person leaves. But Lane 6 looks like Harbor is going for the lead. They're both under a minute. Looks like Harbor was about 58. And then the lady faded a little bit in Lane 4, which was Conway. As they turn it off, I expect Conway to have a pretty good relay. I imagine that Brooklyn Anderson is on this, and she went 56 in the backstroke. So with freestyle and a dive, she probably can go quite a bit faster than that. But right now, the early lead is Harbor. Is going out, and they're leading it as they come up on the second leg being completed, which will be halfway through this particular race. So again, different strategies on how you go. Normally, for example, Caleb Dressel is the best swimmer in the world. almost always leads off the relay because his start is so superior over anybody else in the world. The USA and the Florida teams will have him lead that off, but different strategies. Mark Gold, the coach of Bentonville High School, and the Sharks likes to put his best 2 athletes first. And it looks like in lane 6, Harbor continues to maintain a lead as they're halfway through this particular relay. But those splits are pretty close. Also pretty close for 3rd place between North Little Rock and Springdale. So as they come into, looks like Harbor's extending their lead a little bit. I imagine that Conway might catch up a little bit as they finish that, but Harbor trying to extend that lead and come up with these points and move up into the top 8 as they have 8 swimmers coming up in the final heat. Looks like in lane 5, North Little Rock is extending their lead on 3rd place over Springdale. And Springdale was 5th in this relay last year, but going to at least be 12th without a disqualification in there. As they get ready for the final exchanges, that's Harbor leading with their last person going, diving into the water. And they're going to be well under 4 minutes. Conway has their last swimmer coming off the blocks and are trying to catch them to finish that. Looks like Brooklyn Anderson as she's coming in there. I don't know if she can catch the Harbor Wildcats. But the Conway Wampus Cats are going to certainly give it an effort here as they come up. So looks like North Little Rock is still holding on to their lead. But it's Harbor in this first heat. Looks like they're going to be able to hold on and hopefully win this heat and move up in the final heat of 8. We expect a really good race in this final heat, but looks like Harbor is got this in lane 6. And they're going to finish this relay in 3:54.74, so quite a good time off their seed time.
Yep.
Over a minute dropped off of their seed time. Second, Conway, 3:56.
That would make them the 5th seed if they had.
If they hold on to that. Yeah. And then it looks like North Little Rock will hold off Springdale as we get ready for the final heat. And this should be a very, very good race between Bentonville, North Little Rock, Fayetteville, and Bentonville West. A lot of good athletes, and we're excited to announce that for you. But as we finish the last race of the girls' meet, tune in to the Bentonville Sports Network for the boys' meet starting at 4 o'clock, and we'll be excited to bring it to you. Hopefully no technical difficulties, but I know they've restarted the system twice. I guess there's still the same limitation for spectators. We have quite a few parents lined up across the glass here to watch this last race as the other athletes and swimmers are really excited to encourage their teammates on for this last relay of this girls' state championship in 2021.
Okay, in the water for the last heat of the girls' 6A state swimming championships, the 400-yard freestyle relay. In lane 1, Mount St. Mary's. Lane 2, Cabot. Lane 3, Fayetteville. Lane 4, Bentonville. Lane 5, Bentonville West. Lane 6, Little Rock Central. Lane 7, Rogers. And lane 8, Bryant High School.
Yeah, it should be a pretty good race. Bentonville in lane 5 is the early lead, but Little Rock Central has Lindsay Heyman. I'm not sure if she swam the other 2 relays, but she could be anchoring that relay. But right now in lane 3, you have Fayetteville High School with a slight lead. In lane 4, Bentonville, and Bentonville West is right there too, as you have all the people. But the slight lead right now goes to Fayetteville High School, as they had, I think, 4 swimmers in the final 8 of the individual race. Bentonville is slightly behind there as they get up to the second swimmer. And then third right now is Bentonville West, who will have Chloe Thompson, who's a great freestyle on there. Little Rock Central is in 4th, but again, that could change with some different swimmers coming out. You see the officials gathered at the end of the pool to look at the takeoff. Looks like Bentonville. That might be Grace Robbins that's going there. I think it is.
Looks like it.
And she's, Grace is an unbelievably hard worker. She just really gives it her effort in the weight training and in the swimming. And it's nice to see it resulting here, but she's going to give Bentonville a lead in the third swimmer.
Little Rock Central's coming up in 6.
Yes, they are, and they probably have Hammond coming up later, so we'll see if Lindsey Hammond can bring that up. But Bentonville's got a slight lead as they get ready for the third swimmer coming here. And 150, they have to average about 54 seconds. They're a little bit behind that, but that swimmer is definitely expending the lead for Bentonville. Also in second place right now is Fayetteville. And third is Little Rock Central and Bentonville West. Like I said, Bentonville West will have Chloe Thompson anchoring there. And Little Rock Central should make a run with Lindsey Heyman anchoring that. But Bentonville right now has a lead. Looks like Leanne's going to go last, so I can't imagine that Bentonville would give up that lead. Such a great swimmer and such a great competitor that likes to build Bentonville West to win this thing. And it's going to be a good battle for second. Right now, Fayetteville High School's in second, and Little Rock Central is in third. Bentonville West with Chloe Thompson anchoring is in fourth, but it's very close. Leanne hopes to win her fourth event for the second year in a row. She anchors this relay, and I can't imagine they would catch her. She'll have to go 50 point to make the state record, so I doubt that'll happen. But it looks like Bentonville in lane 3, as I predicted, looks like Lindsey Heyman is anchoring for Little Rock Central, and they're going to come in second. Chloe Thompson is going last for Bentonville West. She might be able to catch lane 3, which is Fayetteville, but it's going to be very close. Bentonville pulling away here. Leanne Yu has got an insurmountable lead for Bentonville as they're going to go out with their third consecutive state championship in style. Little Rock Central looks like they're moving into second. And again, that's Lindsey Heyman finishing for second. Looks like that Bentonville High School wins at 3:35.99, just off that state record by 0.8. Little Rock Central, Lindsey Heyman is second. Third, Fayetteville High School, and fourth, Bentonville West. Some very good splits. Leanne, I want to say went 51 high on that, but that's obviously unofficial. But
it was less than a second off the state record.
Yep, 0.8, and very good split by all four of those girls there. So congratulations to Bentonville on securing their third consecutive state title. Little Rock second. Little Rock Central was second for the second year in a row, and again, some great winners with Lindsey Heyman winning 2 events and a relay, so second in the other relay. Really exciting event. Again, third, as I stated, was Fayetteville High School. Fourth was Bentonville West. And that concludes our 2021 Girls State High School Swimming Championship. Again, we'll be back at 4 o'clock for more action of the boys, and we expect an even closer meet than the girls, which was fantastic. So thank you for turning in to Tiger Sports Network. We'll see if we can get maybe the coach over for a word. And thank you all for tuning in to Tiger Sports Network.
Yeah, one more time. Thank you to our sponsors, Jimmy John's, Centennial Bank, and Farm Bureau of Arkansas. Thanks to all the technical staff for keeping us running. Thanks to Scott for all of his commentary today. Okay. Hey, we're signing off. Thanks, folks.
It was raining.
That teen was texting.
The deer was crossing. The guy was looking at his maps.
At Bob Morey's Auto Body, no matter the excuse, they'll fix it for you. Look us up on the web, call or come by now. Make sure you pay attention. Watch out for that. Bob Morey's Auto Body. It's your car. It's your choice.
Choose wisely.
At BobMoreyAutoBody.com.
Since 1996, Bob Morey's Auto Body has worked hard at providing you the best all-around automotive collision repair. It is a pleasure getting to serve you Northwest Arkansas. With 14 service bays, we can handle large and small repairs along with auto glass replacement.
In this part of the country, it's a way of life. You're going about your day without a cloud in the sky. Then suddenly, you find yourself wondering how solid your home really is. With nearly 25 years of certified experience, let our team give you the same assurance on a stormy night that you feel on a clear afternoon. Before the downpour, before the leaks, call Foster Roofing, serving Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley since 1994.